In this video we are going to focus on surface area of right prisms. Surface area is the sum of all the sides. So we're looking at adding up all of the side areas together for a cube, a rectangular prism, and to come is a triangular prism. So let's take a look at the cube on the left hand side here. When we start calculating this, we have to put down SA, and that means surface area. Now if we look at the cube here, the cube has 6 faces, so 6 squares. So it's 6 times the area of one face. So surface area is 6 times the area of one face. And the face is, I'll do the base here, is 6 lots of those, because that base there is the same as the top, same as the sides, and same as the front and back. So we work down the page, SA, surface area equals 6 times. Now we know that a cube has squares on it, so these sides all equal the same. So 5, 5, 5, and 5. So in brackets it's 5 times 5, because multiplying 5 times 5 gives the area of the square, and we want 6 lots of that. Keep working down the page. Surface area equals 6 times, and brackets comes first because of order of operations. So 5 times 5 is 25. Keep going. Surface area equals 6 times 25 is 150. It is centimeters, and because we are doing area, it is squared. Let's look at the rectangular prism here. So this is a little bit different in the setting out, but it's the same principles. So surface area equals. Now with the rectangular prism, we have a top and a bottom, 2 sides and a front and a back. So we're going to write that down. We've got to figure out all the areas of those and then add them all up. So surface area equals 2 top bottoms, because the top and the bottom are exactly identical in their dimensions, so we want 2 of those. We want to also have 2 sides, because the sides are identical in their dimensions as well. And we want 2 front, running out of room there, and back, because the front and the back are identical in their dimensions as well. Let's work down the page. Surface area equals. So we want 2 lots of the top and bottom. Now the top and bottom, so 2 brackets, the top and bottom areas are 4 by 2. So we put 4 times 2 bracket plus 2 bracket. Now we're doing the sides, so we're going to work out the side dimensions, and that is a 2 and a 3. Even though that this 3 is over here, it doesn't mean that it can't be used here. So 2 times 3, 2 times 3 bracket, add the last one on, 2 bracket, and we want to do the front and the back. See, front and back, so it's this here, so 3 and 4, so 3 times 4. So what we've essentially done in this line is substitute in for this one here. So 2 of the top and bottom, the dimensions for the top and bottom are 4 times 2, so 2 bracket 4 times 2. We then add on the next one, the 2 sides, 2 lots of those dimensions, and then finally adding on 2 lots of the front and back, which is 3 times 4. Working down the page, surface area equals. Now we're going to solve the brackets. So 2 times, now 4 times 2 is 8, plus 2 times 3 is 6, plus 2 times 3 times 4 is 12. So the 2's have dropped down, and I've just solved the brackets, because in order of operations brackets come first. Now I can solve this. 2 times 8 is 16, 2 times 6 is 12, and 2 times 12 is 24. And the last line, I'm going to add that all up. 16 plus 12 plus 24 is 52. The units are centimetres and its area, so it is squared. So essentially all I'm doing is figuring out all the areas and adding them up to get the surface area, because the surface is the outside of these shapes. We're now going to take a look at triangular prisms. We have two examples here. The first is a right angle triangular prism, because the main shape of the triangle is a right angle, indicated by the little box there. And this one looks a bit like a Toblerone box. It's an equilateral triangle because the markings tell me so. That tells me that these are all equal sides. Let's start on the left here. We're going to calculate this first one. So we have to write the rule. So surface area equals. And because surface area is adding up all the areas of these shapes, so all the surface areas, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 shapes I've got to add up. So 2 triangles and 3 rectangles. So surface area equals the 2 front and back, and they are the triangles themselves, which give them the name of triangular prisms. And then I'm going to add on a side, which can be this one here. Add on another side, which is going to be this one here. And I'm running out of room here, and we're going to have a bottom. And that's this base bottom here. Now we're going to substitute in. So the first one is 2 bracket, and the rule for area of a triangle is half times base times height. So we're going to go half times the base of 4 times the height of 6 and close the bracket. Then we're going to add on something else, another side. So a side, we're going to do the top one here, and that's going to be 10 times 8.5, so 10 and 8.5. We're then going to add another one on. We'll do the one on the back here. So this is a 6, and this number 10, this is exactly the same length here. So 6 times 10, and I'll go down here because I'm going to run out of room if I go that way. And the bottom, which is this 10 and 4. So we open up another bracket, and we can go 4 times 10 and close the bracket. So now we've substituted in, we're now going to calculate. Surface area equals, so 2 times, and if I calculate this, I've got to have half of 4 times 6. So 4 times 6 is 24, and half of that is 12. I'm going to add on this one here. So this calculation brings me to 85. So 10 times 8.5 is 85. I'm going to add this one on here. 6 times 10 is 60. And finally, 4 times 10 is 40. Order of operations tells me I have to solve this multiplication first. So 2 times 12 is 24. And I simply drop the other numbers down, ready for the final calculation. Surface area equals, and I add those all up, and I get 209. Because it is centimetres, I go centimetres, and because it's surface area, it's area, so it means it's squared. Let's take a look at this second triangle here on the right. It's exactly the same process, so it's the same rule. So 2 front and back, that's the triangles, the main shape of this prism, plus a side, plus another side, and plus the bottom, which is what it's sitting on. Second line is our substitution. So 2 bracket, now this is the triangle, so half times the base of 4 times the height of 3.5. And now we're going to add these sides on. The length is 18 and the width is 4 because this is an equilateral triangle. It means that this length is 4 also. So 4 times 18 plus another side which is identical because these rectangles, all 3 of them are identical. And the bottom which it's sitting on is also the same measurements, so 4 times 18. Surface area equals, so 2 times, we have to solve the brackets here, so half times 4 times 3.5 is going to give us a 7. Drop the plus down, solve this, 4 times 18 is 72, and because these are the same, I can simply copy that down now. Let's solve the total area of those triangles. So 2 times 7 is 14. We must do the order of operations, so multiplication comes first. And we simply drop these down, ready for the next line. Surface area equals 14 plus 72 plus 72 plus 72 equals 230. It's centimetres, so the units of centimetres go down, and it's area, so it's squared. So essentially, surface area is calculating the areas of all the sides and adding them together, no matter the shape, whether it's a cube, rectangular prism or triangular prism. Calculate all the areas of the sides and then simply add them together.